Salama family, peace and blessings to you and yours. In part 13 of what Egypt is hiding, or what is Egypt hiding, we'll discuss the concept of establishing a home, a domicile, a resting place, or an abode, right? Now, before I proceed into the grammatical breakdown of these names, I just want to let you know that there is a common similarity between Hebrew, right, Bantu, and ancient Egyptian. And that similarity is that when you look at the names of an object or a certain species, in the breakdown of the name, encapsulated in it, you will find that the traits of that species or object is also represented. So that's why we pay attention even to the names that we give our children, right? Because of the meanings that will be behind it. Now, let's examine this word up here. Okay, the ancient Egyptian word that bears the consonants SK, H, and I. All right, and this is derived from the book written by Fergus Sherman, which is the linguistic ties between ancient Egyptian and Bantu, and that's the book by Fergus Sherman. You will see that the word Shukeni, okay, which you will find with this bearing the same consonants in the Swahili language, bears the idea of alighting, to come to a rest. And you'll see that it's to alight, to come to a rest. Shuka can also be like the idea of going down ranks, say, of a ladder or stairs. All right, it's just to come down, right? It's the idea of coming down, to descend even, right? Okay, now according to Fergus Sherman, Shukeni is the word that he uses for that, the Swahili word, the Swahili Bantu word, okay, that he uses is Shukeni. Now, I, on the other hand, see the consonants fit in better, and that doesn't mean that I know more, or I'm smarter. It's just the consonants for me that I see that fit better is Sekini, is a Swahili word, Sekini. Okay, Sekini just means the idea of coming down, to settle down, all right? Sekini, okay? The concept of establishing a domicile, to come to rest, Sekini. Now, you will see parallels with that same word in Hebrew. Guys, for those who speak Hebrew, the Hebrew word Shekinah or Shekinah represents the concept of an abode or a dwelling place, right? Now, and it's also derived from the word sokan, the Hebrew word sokan, all right? Now, please remember that word, sokan. Now, according to the Strong's Concordance over there, like you can see, number H7931, you have the word sokan. And if you look down there from where it says the etymology or root word, it says it comes from the idea of lodging, okay? And then as you go below, you will see the concept of the idea of to settle down, abide, to dwell, a tabernacle, or to reside. All right? Now, that's the Hebrew word sokan. The same word, okay, in Kiswahili Bantu becomes, that word sokan becomes maskan. Okay, maskan is a resting place. You hear the boys will say, "Tunaenda maskan." We're going to the chill place. Place where we chill. We just chill and talk. From the word sokan, right? And the Shekinah, or the glory of the Lord, Shekinah glory, in that sense, that is embodied by the Spirit of the Most High, also, I would say, is derived from the Swahili word sekini, to come to a rest. Remember, Africa gave birth to life. Remember? And of course, there is another word up there again. You see that? SKHN, the word for just a resting place, okay, is SKHN, right? Which of course Sherman again says is Shukeni. I would say Sakini, but it doesn't matter. They still all have the same root, to be honest. The word Shukeni and the word Sakini have a common root. So I don't think there's any right or wrong answer here, right? So here are the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic, representation for the word Maskan, which is MSKHN, which are the consonants, and then you have the hieroglyphs, all right? The idea of an abode or a dwelling place. Maskan, just like I said, is exactly the same in Kiswahili Bantu, all right? All right, so now let's move on over to another word. Now, the word SKHT or Sakat, okay, I just call it Sakat. Now, the consonants SKHT represent the idea of to twist, to weave, to lay out of a net. So it's just the idea of twisting and braiding and weaving, all right? Now, I will go further and say that Sokota even in Swahili has the idea of also tucking in something, okay? So it's just the whole concept of weaving or braiding. Sokota, okay? Which is exactly, the consonants are exactly the same as the Swahili language, Sokota, all right? Now, let me give you another set of hieroglyphs with the same consonants, okay? And just have the same meaning. And then if you're a Hebrew speaker, pay attention. Now, let's examine the word Sukkot or Sokota, okay? Over here. So here we go. Now, Fergus Sherman, again, says that it's the idea of twisting, to weave, to make a shelter with leaves and branches. Now, if you speak Hebrew, you should know that this same consonants, just about the same consonants, will represent the idea of creating a shelter, okay, using leaves and branches. Now, in the Feast of Tabernacles, I believe, which is one of the highest Jewish holidays, they do make hats or boots called sukkots, all right? I participated in some where we put branches around the, the little framework that they put, sometimes even mats, already woven mats, and put them in through the structure like that. It just creates a temporary kind of shelter, almost like a tent, okay? Now, it's pretty interesting that even here again, you do see that indeed, the ancient Egyptians did interact with the ancient Hebrews. Ain't that funny? But there are people who will swear up and down that there was never such an interaction. Now, remember also with the word Sukkot, they do have a variation of that word in Hebrew, which is the word sukkah, okay? Sukkah. Now, look at that Hebrew word sukkah, all right? Okay? Which is really a variation again for the word Sukkot or a booth. The concept of establishing a domicile or a house, which is also found in ancient Egyptian and Bantu. Now, sukkah is also found in the Swahili word. It's a root word that's connected to the word Sokota, which has to do with the concept of braiding hair. Sukkah is to braid hair, okay? Not only braid hair, it can be a mat, just anything that you can braid. That skill is called sukkah. Now, those are Swahili women out there, and what they're doing there, braiding themselves, is the word sukkah.